Nacho man, yeah. I got to be a Nacho man. Got to be a Nacho man. I got to be a Nacho man.
Welcome, Vault Dwellers. My name is Nacho Bidness. I'm making this series both because I'm having fun and to illustrate how much creative freedom we have for roleplay in Fallout 76. This video is Chapter 8 of my profile for my character Nacho in Fallout 76. In the last video, I described how Nacho left the vault and found the post-nuclear world is even worse than he imagined. We begin today's chapter with his discovery of the Scorched Plague. We're going to pick up the pace of the story from here on out. The details are in game, after all. I hope you enjoy my excursion into creative writing. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. In the town of Flatwoods, Nacho finds the recordings and training materials for a group calling themselves the Responders. In the first days after the war, first responders from police, fire brigades, and hospitals banded together to help the other survivors. Nacho is intrigued. It's also idealistic, so damn noble. He likes these responders far more than his fellow 76ers. Nacho travels north to the Morgantown airport, hoping to find out more about what happened in Appalachia. Secretly, he hopes he will maybe even find survivors. What he discovers instead is the records of a desperate last stand against a terrifying new disease. Nacho's story begins to pick up speed, and events start happening awfully fast. Years later, Nacho can barely recall some events, while others stand out vividly. It's hard to even put together in his mind the exact order that everything happened. For example, he vaguely remembers a robot DJ named Rose trying to convince him to eat a Google. But he vividly remembers the day he finally managed to cobble together a complete set of power armor. Nacho knows there were a couple historians among the 76ers. Let them worry about the exact details. Nacho just tries to remember the triumphs and forget the tragedies. The so-called Scorched Plague turns out to be a potential extinction-level event. The infection transforms the victims into hideous, charred, zombie-like beings, and it's highly contagious. While Nacho and the other dwellers race to synthesize a vaccine, the Overseer rushes ahead to secure the automated nuclear missile silos dotted across Appalachia. At every turn, the dwellers face strange, mutated monsters, deadly automatons with defective programming, and endless waves of scorched slaves to the hive mind of something. Nacho is 50 years old when the vault opens. Although he feels too old to deal with any of this stuff, the survival skills he learned from Ray are invaluable. Also, Nacho knows the camp automated building system better than most of his contemporaries. He's a crack shot with a sniper rifle, and he's sneakier than most people, and luckier too. Despite the fact that he almost always lives and works alone, he's doing better than many of the other groups of 76ers. Nacho ends up following the trail blazed by the Overseer, and many of his adventures are decidedly weird. Like the time he had to go to the DMV. He even had to wait hours for his number to be called. He did it so he could get an ID card, so he could join an army unit staffed by robots, so he could bypass some military security at an insane asylum of all places. Or when he had to activate a defunct detection system for the Scorched, invented by a bunch of secessionist assholes calling themselves the Free States. Or that time he had to run an obstacle course and destroyed Charleston only so he could later go into a coal mine that was literally still on fire to grab some damn thing or another. Or the other time he somehow became mayor for a day in the town of Watoga, which forever bypassed the security protocols of the robots patrolling the town. Frankly, Nacho does a lot of it in a daze, unable to really come to terms with the true horror of the aftermath of atomic war. And just when Nacho thinks things can't get any worse, things get worse. Some of his fellow dwellers get their hands on the codes and keycards needed to activate the automated missile silos. Rather than deactivate the silos, the dwellers turn the nukes on each other. Nacho can't believe it. More than ever, he feels contempt for most of the Vault 76 survivors. Sometimes when he encounters other dwellers in the wild, they try to murder Nacho in cold blood. For what reason, Nacho never knows. He isn't friends with these people, but he never did anything to deserve execution either. He figures they have been driven insane by the chaotic surface world after so long in the vault. He runs from violent 76ers when he can, and uses deadly force when he can't. Even so, Nacho never forgets the ultimate goal of the Overseer: save Appalachia. Even though she is apparently dead, Nacho intends to follow her final command. He will nuke the center of the hive mind controlling the Scorched. And one day, Nacho enters a bunker of last resort for the US government. Under the White Springs Resort, he discovers Modus, an artificial intelligence built to serve the Enclave. At first, Nacho is filled with wonder. True AI is the stuff of science fiction. But Modus makes Nacho uneasy. Modus has a slightly sinister cadence and tone in all of his verbal communications, and Modus sometimes shows a face behind the face on his screens. Something that looks almost alien. Nacho strongly suspects the AI is insane, and possibly even killed the last members of the Enclave in the bunker. Nevertheless, Modus provides the final clues on how to launch the nukes. At long last, Nacho breaches the Site Bravo missile silo. He is alone. He fights his way past the robotic security guards, hacking them where he can and blasting them when he can't. Nacho finally manages to launch a nuke at the Fisher Site Prime, lair of the Scorched Bee's queen and the core of the Scorched Bee's hive mind. His food supplies are running low. His ammo is nearly gone. The fusion core of his power armor is nearly drained, and yet Nacho still limps to the Fisher site to finish off anything still alive. He fully expects to die alone in the deadly radiation left over from the bomb, but he's doing what the Dwellers should have done as a united group, and fulfilling his commitment to the Overseer, Vault-Tec, and humankind. To Nacho's surprise and joy, nearly 20 76ers have heard the automated radio call, warning of a nuke launch in the projected blast zone. They are mostly young people born inside the vault who don't even remember pre-war America. But they have realized the stakes and shown up to do their duty. Even better, they are armed to the teeth. Gatling lasers, plasma rifles, miniguns, grenade launchers, Gauss rifles, and Ma Deuces are the order of the day, and every last one of those Dwellers is clad in hulking power armor, from the ungainly T-45 to the sleek X-01. Combined, they project more force than a 20th century tank company. It is a glorious fight, and at the end, the Scorched Beast Queen lays dead at Nacho's feet. For the first time in his life, Nacho shouts for joy. That night, Nacho and his fellow 76ers feast upon the flesh of their enemy. Perhaps it's a bad idea, eating the remains of a plague-ridden, mutated bat recently inundated with radioactive dust. But damn it, this barbecue tastes like victory. It's too good to pass up. Nacho feels content, maybe for the first time ever. He has saved the world, even if the world doesn't know it. Stay tuned for Chapter 9. Nacho learns life goes on. Thanks for watching.